There was a time in our culture where Christian morality was maybe to some degree even accepted. There was a time in our culture which to be married to the same woman or to the same man for your life was seen as a virtuous thing. To believe that marriage was between a man and a woman was virtuous. Anything contrary to that in our culture, there was a time in which that would have seemed very odd. What should be remarkable to us is not that we live in a day in which that is despised. It should seem remarkable to us that there was ever a time in which it wasn't. But we live in a time today in which if you publicly say, I believe marriage is between a man and a woman only, you will not just be laughed at. You will be pointed to as the societal problem. You are now the problem in the world today. I believe that I'm giving this accurately. This past week, Mike Pompeo was being given Senate confirmation hearings to be confirmed as the Secretary of State. That's a pretty high-up position in our country today. Mike Pompeo is an evangelical Christian. He belongs to a Bible-believing church like this one. He has a very faithful and consistent testimony of his love for the Lord. He was asked by one of the senators, do you still believe, senators, did I say senators? He was asked, it almost came out like sinners, and I didn't mean that. We're all sinners. He was asked by one of the senators, it was asked like this, do you still believe marriage is between one man and one woman? Do you still believe that? Mike Pompeo responded, yes, I still believe that. Later, that same senator then tweeted, and he said publicly the reason he would oppose his nomination to be Secretary of State is because he believed him not to be a Christian. And that because he was not a Christian, he was not able to love all people. And then mentioned specifically because of what he believes about marriage, that marriage is between one man and one woman. Now, that's a political position that 5 years ago would not have been stated. Today, we are living in a time in which publicly stated the very reason that he is opposed is because of what he believes about marriage. Now, listen, I'm just trying to say that for us to have a reality check this morning. Because, listen, in this day in which we live, this world in which we live, we must faithfully represent the fragrance of the sacrifice. There's not two fragrances. There's one fragrance. Some will smell it, and it will smell like life to them. Others will smell it, and it will stench like death. But that is the means by which God is doing his redemptive work in the world today. It is not ours to change the message. It's not ours to, in some way, make it smell better. It's ours to speak it, to live it, and let God do his redemptive work.